was a scene from my house a few hours ago, and it looks like most folks are hoping to avoid scenes like that this Thanksgiving. A new poll shows 61% are saying no to politics when they sit down at the table. Let's poll my next two guests on that, Fox Nation host Abby Hornacek and Fox News contributor Scott Martin. So, Abby, lots of families get together over the holidays and lots of time to talk. What do you think?
I think that politics should not be talked about. The only thing you should be talking about is what you're grateful for and who made the best sweet potato casserole. Because, Edward, if we're getting into the nitty-gritty of it, turkey has something called tryptophan, and tryptophan makes you sleepy. And you should not be talking about politics when you're sleepy, because that's when you're the crankiest. If you want to argue about something on Thanksgiving, that's what all the NFL games are for.
Yeah, exactly. So, Scott, Sandra Smith said that she invites a guest to Thanksgiving dinner so the family will be on the best behavior. Do you have any tricks to getting along at this holiday dinners?
I mean, I would go toe-to-toe with Abby on the sweet potato casserole. I make a pretty nice one myself. I just hold up the big bowl of cranberry sauce and ask for somebody to test me on my politics, and that cranberry sauce goes all over them. The other thing, to Abby's point, though, is very good. You shouldn't talk politics when you're sleepy. We've learned that from Joe Biden. Take a note.
So Abby, then, So, Abby, do you go to a family dinner, or does the family come to you? And does that make a difference in the topics that are discussed at the tables?
Oh, that's an interesting question. The family comes to us, and I think, there's this saying, my house, my rules. So I think that helps. Also, last year, my brother made homemade butter, and that's all people could talk about. So there was not even any room to talk about politics. So if you need to borrow my brother, I'm sure he'd come to your house.
It's like butter. So, Scott, Uncle Buck, stole the remote and turned away from the Commanders game, which are about to beat the Cowboys. How do you get the changer back without causing a fight?
I have the Commanders as well. I tell you, it's interesting. I guess these days with family, you kind of experience the good and the bad, so maybe you know the ways to push buttons and also diffuse arguments. But you have to be patient, frankly, Edward, because this is a tough time for America. It's a tough time politically, but it's one where I think if people's voices are heard, but at least they're respectful, that's a way to kind of get through some of these arguments, or at least these maybe dissertations that people seem to bring to the Thanksgiving table.
Okay, so Abby, Uncle Buck just cheated playing Clue. How do you tell him to cut it out without starting a fight?
Man, Uncle Buck is not invited to Thanksgiving anymore. This is what it turns out.
John Candy.
Cheaters never win.
John Candy reference.
Yes. Cheaters never win, Edward. So I think you just beat him fair and square, and then you have that hold over his head for every Thanksgiving to come. It'll teach him not to cheat again.
But I looked up what causes the most arguments, Abby, and they said, playing a game, cheating at a board game, and changing the television. Those are two things during the holidays that cause the most arguments, believe it or not. So when it comes to consumers, let me ask you this. They have a real problem with artificial intelligence. A new survey is revealing that 85% aren't interested in AI helping them decide on purchases. Where do you stand on artificial intelligence helping you buy things?
I don't trust AI to help me buy things because I do a lot of different things for work. So I Google a lot of different topics. Right. If AI started suggesting fake Santa Claus beards or beef jerky to me, I think they would not hit the mark. I think my consumer behavior would probably confuse AI. But if AI, I keep calling them they because they feel like humans. It feels like human now. But if AI wanted to do a cost-benefit analysis of the different products that I want to buy, then maybe I would accept that.
Yeah, maybe if it does it for me, I would consider it because I hate shopping. Yeah. But also from that survey, maybe influencers aren't so influential. 57% of consumers are saying that a celebrity or influencer endorsement will not make them buy a product. How about your thoughts on that?
I think it depends on what makes the influencer influential. For instance, if Tony Hawk was holding up a skateboard saying, hey, buy this skateboard, it's the same one I used to win all 73 of my titles, I would be like, okay, I need that skateboard. But if someone like a Real Housewife is telling me to drink Diet Coke, I don't know if I would really go out and rush to buy Diet Coke.
So the Real Housewife would not be invited to Thanksgiving dinner, right? Because that would then start its whole argument
too
back.
much fighting.
That would cause too much fuss. How do you stop an argument? When you see something go down a path, as people are watching, they might be starting to talk about maybe, how do you stop the argument before it happens?
You need someone who provides some sort of comedic relief, someone who cracks a joke, makes everyone laugh, and just gets up and walks away, or just make everyone eat too much turkey so they all fall asleep from the tryptophan, and then you can't argue if you're sleeping. Those are my two thoughts.
That makes perfect sense. And in the last 15 seconds, what's your favorite Thanksgiving item that you're going to eat today?
I love a good sweet potato casserole. Like to eat the marshmallows right off the top, not even touch the sweet potato part.
Yeah, well, and you might have
That or
Scott
grandma's homemade bread.
And grandma's homemade. You can't forget grandma. That's right. Thank you, Abby. Scott Martin would probably fight you on that casserole, but I appreciate it. So coming up.